What's up, Angel City? It's your girl Panda here. We are live and about
Oh
to
my
break
God.
down this game to you all. But first, let me introduce my co host. As always, we've got the one, the only, Nina Kiefer. What's going on?
Hey, what's happening, everybody? I wish people could see how I dance behind the scenes while you're playing the intro music. Just
Right?
over here having a little solo get pump party.
I wish they could, because then they could totally see that I forgot to edit the episode number out of the intro. But there's so many things going on that I was like, "Oh crap! I knew there was something I was forgetting to do, and it was that." So whatever. If you're on the podcast version of this and not the YouTube, then well, guess what? You didn't have to see any of our faux pas, but everyone else on the
Wait, you have
YouTubes,
pause?
you can just go back and see we have pause.
Where are the paws? Bring me 4 paws.
I mean, I have what, 12 paws that I
There's
could
12
bring
paws.
you.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. So, but either way, we are here finally to recap this awesome game that we all witnessed on what day was that? Sunday? Sunday,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that was a fun match. I rewatched it today, so we're gonna break it down, let you know our thoughts and
Fire.
everything that went on. But of course, we will start off with some fun news and notes, what's been going on and the happenings, and then obviously what's going on with the league. So I'll start with you, Nina. What's been going on with you? Anything? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I had Chinese food for dinner. Um,
fantastic.
oh, you didn't just mean like
I mean, I'll
life?
take anything at this point when it comes to like what you've been up to, but I guess that's one thing to start with.
I definitely forgot that it's like Easter this weekend. Like
Yes.
this year, 2023 is already flying by. And the other day I had to fill out a thing for like how old I am. And I couldn't remember. I've gotten now to the age where I don't remember how old I am.
That's because you don't want to remember. You get to an age in life where you stop trying to remember because you would really just rather forget instead of all of those like fun milestone birthdays that you get when you're growing up,
Yeah.
like, like 16 and 21 and then 25 for insurance. And then after that, there's really no reason to really remember because they're all just kind of like, I don't know, kind of sad birthday milestones. But I guess we should be
Oh,
happy that you make it to another birthday just in general.
I
But
think they're happy. But speaking of like adult things, like I literally just got a notification that Bring You heard my reminder to pay my taxes.
oh god, yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Well, you know what? We'll have a fun reminder when we go over what's coming up for the future.
Yeah,
But
but let's talk about news and notes from around the league. The reason you're here is not to talk about
yes,
what I ate for dinner. It's not to talk about taxes
it's not.
or
This is
boring adulthood. Let's talk about some fun adulthood, like being able to have season tickets to Angel City
yes,
and
that
all the fun things that goes along with. So, do
yeah,
you want to start? You found this really cool article about Junendo
I
that
did. I
I'd love for us to
did.
highlight first.
Yeah, so that's a lot of fun. I mean, everybody likes June Endo, and I think we all would love to get to know her a little more. She's kind of quiet, obviously, because she needs a translator, and they're not just always just hanging out with her. So she probably doesn't get to share a lot of her story with all of us the way that she would like. So fortunately, we have this amazing article that ESPN actually posted, and we will definitely post links from our Instagram page. So if you're hearing this, just look for those, and we'll post them in our bio for you. But the title of it is "How an Earthquake, Nuclear Fallout, and Family Made June Endo one of the world's most electrifying players." And boy, is it a fun article to read. It talks about an earthquake that happened when she was in elementary school. It talks about the nuclear fallout and how that affected her while she was playing, and how other teams and girls kind of had this stigma that, she must be radioactive because she was in a nuclear area. So they didn't want her to touch her. And then just how, her family, was just always very supportive. But she really just ended up doing, what she wanted to do at the end of the day. And when this opportunity came for for her to come over here, pretty much on the other side of the world to play, she just jumped on it. And boy, are we glad that she has. I mean,
Mhm.
she's just been such a fun player to watch. I'm I'll talk about how mad I still am about the goal that got called back for her. But
Oh
she's
yeah.
just great. She's just so much fun. Her pink hair, is fun. Like just her totally embracing this team and this lifestyle. And I encourage everybody to go out there and read. I'm not going to sit here and read the whole article to you and give you all the spoilers or anything, because I think it's really important that you go seek this article out and everything. Again, if you're watching this right now, we've posted the link in our comments. Take a look at that and just get to know June Endo. And if you didn't love her already, you're definitely going to love her even more after reading that article. It is pretty good. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that's
She is
a
definitely, I feel like, one of the fan favorites as it comes down to players. So, really great article, as you mentioned. But there's other exciting news that has been circulate on the interwebs,
yes.
circulating, verbs,
Words.
circulating on the interwebs. And that's an expansion news for the league. Super excited to be able to welcome our neighbors to the north. NWSL is coming to the Bay.
Yes, they are. We always love when we can announce our new teams in this league. That just means they are growing, and growth is just one thing that, keeps us moving in the right direction that we need for this league to continue to do. And yeah, to the Bay, Bay, Bay.
Let's go. I love it. And this is founded by some former U.S. national team players like Brandy Chastain, Leslie Osborne, Danielle Slayton, and Allie Wagner, who originally were part of this effort for NWSL to the Bay. So super exciting that they are a part of this and that we get to see another, West Coast team. I'm just thinking about some more away days in our future.
Oh, that's going to be exciting. Yeah, definitely. And what I love are all of these initiatives that these groups and these women are getting together and having, like, bring NWSL to LA, bring NWSL to the Bay. All this is going to do is encourage people out
Mhm.
there in cities where they really want this to kind of, like start making some noise, be
Yeah.
loud about it, because clearly they're seeing this, clearly it's working. So I mean, I would love to see, it'd be fun to see a team in Austin. I know there was something announced on, I don't know what league it's going to be a part of, but there is an Austin women's league that's starting. Again, I don't know what level it is, but it's just exciting to see the growth of it, and coming up on the heels of a World Cup, which also generated some really fun news. We've been talking about sponsors and how we were not very happy with one of the sponsors, but I can tell you there is a new sponsor, and it's actually Jacob's Creek, which is an Australian like winery out there. So it's apropos. I
Love
love
it.
when I
I
love
love
it. I love
wine.
We're gonna have to definitely find some of that, and
Did you
have a
see
few glasses of it while we're watching the Women's World Cup whenever it does kick off. So
Yeah, I'm
as
gonna
far as
need you right now to live go react to the, meme I sent you right before we started. You're gonna need to
oh my
live
gosh,
react to this one.
uh, I'm sorry. I have to. Does that mean I have to find my phone?
Mhm. Yes. Find your phone, go live react to this,
Okay.
because this is definitely in alignment with this news.
What is it on?
Instagram.
Oh, it's on Instagram?
Mhm.
Okay, well, you're gonna talk about something because I left my
Okay, here,
phone in
I'll
the
just show
other.
you. Oh,
Okay,
wait,
yeah,
it's
you
gonna
have to
be
tell me. What
reversed.
is
Okay,
it?
I'll just read it to you.
Read it
So
to
it says, "How much do you normally spend on a bottle of wine?" And the response is,
me. 30
"About
minutes?
30 minutes max."
I love it. I love it. Yes, absolutely. I mean, you open it and the chances of it being just as good the next day, it's like leftovers. You know me, I don't like leftovers. And I feel like an open bottle of wine on a Tuesday is just
Mhm.
leftover wine on Wednesday, and we just can't be having that, okay?
Truth.
Oh,
Yeah.
all
Nobody
right.
likes
Well,
an open bottle of wine.
oh, well, this is the last of my leftover wine, because somebody had to drink it. We had some guests over this weekend, and wine got opened and left, and well, I mean, I wasn't gonna throw it out, so I guess I'll
Yeah,
drink it.
obviously not.
So cheers. But that is all we have right now, just as far as news goes. I mean, there's a lot of other amazing news out there. If you go to NWSL's website, when it's kind of player specific, like Sophia Smith, and she had a hat trick and little things like that, which are really exciting reads. But this is an ACFC podcast, and we would love nothing more than to go over this game that just happened, because, well, we love talking about the ones where we win. Spoiler
Yes.
alert.
Aw, man.
You know what? I
But,
just
like,
had an idea. Can we start naming our podcast like Friends episodes? The one where we won? The one where the goal was called back? Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, I like it.
I know. I just stumbled upon something, and
Oh,
I
that would be fun.
I am not entirely sure that won't happen at this point.
The
So,
problem is as soon as you start getting my creative juices flowing, I go off the rails and I come up with something ridiculous that doesn't actually work, and then you have to reel me back in, and it's a whole thing, you
well,
know?
sometimes it's fun watching you go off the rails and seeing how far I'll let you go. So, all right.
Fair enough. You
Let's
wanna
yeah, let's dive into this game,
dive
guys.
in?
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's do it
so
because yeah, we have a lot to talk about, and then we have some stuff on the back end of this pod to talk about as well. And let's give the people what they want.
Before we super duper dive into it though, like we know this podcast episode is coming out a little late, and that's because you did some cool stuff and you had some cool people here. You want to just touch on that real quick, give a little shout out?
No, between
Your
having
mom?
my mom come visit for a week and then her getting us tickets to both days of WrestleMania. Yeah, it was a busy weekend, and
Fun.
unfortunately, yes, that is one reason why this pod is out late. We, you know, hung out with mom, and then kind of wallowed in sorrow after she left, and then finally was able to say, okay, now I'm ready to talk about it and everything. Because yeah, it's always sad. I mean, I never know when the next time my mom is going to be here. It's not like I can just
I don't have tissues.
it's not like I can just, like get in my car and drive over and see her. So it's always sad when she leaves, but she will be back. She says it will not be as long this time whenever in between visits, and I'm holding her to that. So I think she had a fantastic time. Thank you for sitting with her in the fishbowl at the game. I think she
So
really
much fun.
enjoyed that. And yeah, it was just really nice having her here. And then WrestleMania, let's save that for the end. Because there's a
Oh,
part of this when we talk about things where I bring that up, but I'm glad that we did
oh,
talk about the fact that I was there because then it'll make more
oh.
sense. So,
All
but
right. Well, let's start with the starting lineup for our opposing team, Orlando Pride. As you guys know, we traveled all the way down to Exploria Stadium in Orlando, Florida, where we braved the heat and humidity to take on Orlando Pride. In goal, they started Anna Morehouse, number 21. Their defensive four included number 25, Carrie Abello, number 2, their captain, Haley McCutcheon, number 6, Emily Madrill, number 26, Caitlin Cosme, and sorry, defensive 5, I should have said. I can count. And number 3, Kylie Strom. In their midfield, they put in number 8, Michaela Clough, number 15, Erica Timrack. And then up top, they had number 11, Ali Watt, number 20, Julie Doyle, and number 9, Adriana.
all right, and then let's just talk about ACFC real quick. We've got in goal 13, Dee Dee Harachich. On our back line, our defenders, we've got Captain Allie Riley, Sarah Gordon, Megan Reed, and Paige Nielsen. In our midfield, we've got Danny Weatherholt, Savannah McCaskill, and Madison Hammond. That's a fun one to see starting. And then up front, we've got June Endo, Claire Emsley, and Alyssa Thompson.
I
Now,
am
we do
loving
have
this.
yes, and as far as our subs go, we do have the new one, Scarlett Cambros. She was in the lineup, and I think that's it. Clarice Le'Veon back as well in the lineup.
Yes.
I know she had been battling an injury, and then everyone else, yeah, I think we've got
Season-ending
all the
injury for Kristen Press, year 2.
Kristen Press and Sydney LaRue still out. So, but she does.
Yeah.
Speaking of Sydney LaRue, she does have a interesting little documentary coming out that kind of documents her whole injury and how she was kind of teetering on the cusp there with her foot, and how they were like, "Listen, if you keep playing on this, your foot's gonna like break in half." And they kind of go into that and
Not good.
why she played and she probably shouldn't have played, and why we were all very confused, and no one was really saying anything. So that will be out, and we'll talk about that whenever that does happen. But
Yeah, definitely not ideal to, like, have your foot fall off. Not
I
worth it.
mean, not as a soccer player. That's difficult.
I'm
So
a life person.
and
I'm
it
just
kind of need your feet. All right, let's get into this. There was one obvious omission.
missing person from the lineup.
There was a missing person report filed, and who would that be, Nina?
That would be Marta. She was in the stands. She was not playing, also out with an injury. One of the things that was really interesting that as I was watching it on TV, the commentators noted actually 2 things that were really cool. Seb Hines, youngest NWSL coach right now. And this is his first season as head coach. So really loving that. He's 34 years old. So I still have time to be the youngest.
You can still do it, Nina. I believe
I
in
can
you.
still do it. I don't have the
Absolutely.
resume, but I have the confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. I have no doubt you could do it. So
And then the other piece of really interesting news was they were kind of going at Pride for the number of people in the stadium, saying, like, Angel City packs the house, other teams are kind of packing the house. And then it used to be that they had a good following when they had like all these players and things like that. And it kind of dwindled off as the league expanded. And it's interesting because we want to see these stadiums full.
yeah.
It wasn't an awful turnout, but there's definitely room for improvement.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, there's definitely full sections of people that didn't exist.
Yeah.
And you don't want to see that. And you would think, I don't know. I mean, I would think that would be a great place to catch a game. I mean, weather should have been nice. And I mean, what else is going on? I don't know what the Magic are doing right down there. And of course, the other Orlando team. What can I? What are they?
I don't know.
Why
What
why
are
am
they
I
doing?
drawing a stupid blank about the
Oh,
MLS team?
it's who, who are wow, we just totally went full Woso.
We went full so we just left MLS in the background, whatever. The men's team, unfortunately, was not there.
Whoever they are.
So I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know what we need to do to get people to like show up to these games, but yeah, it would be nice. So
Yeah.
we don't have that
Anyways,
problem. We do not have that problem.
I was able to figure out who kicked off this one.
Wow. Like, did
You're
you hit
welcome.
rewind?
Yeah, well, actually, they were super zoomed in, so it took me a minute
Oh
because they
my
had it like
god.
the cameras were super zoomed in on the ball. I'm like, "How does that help me?" Like,
Right.
that
I
tells
don't know
me
whose foot that
nothing.
is.
Get your
Who
artistic shot out of here. I'm trying to watch a game.
who wears those
Um,
boots? I don't know.
so Angel City do kick off this match, and in the second minute, the Pride got a dangerous cross, but there's no one at the back post for them. Timrak was able to get off a shot between the defenders, but that then was saved by Didi. And let's remember, Timrak is deadly and dangerous, and she falls down a lot. So just keep that in mind as you're going through. In the fifth minute, we had a little chance at a rebuttal when Riley's able to get a good cross off, but that's cleared for a corner kick, which was taken by Endo. Hammond was able to get a head on the ball, but it goes over the crossbar. And I really enjoyed seeing Hammond into this midfield defensive mid position, getting her up and back. She's got the stamina. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, no, that was a fun little flick from McCaskill off of her knee. I'm not sure if it was skill or luck, but that cross came in a little short, but it kind of ricocheted a little bit, and
Mhm.
it did find the head of Hammond, which was cool. But yeah, like you said, it hit the crossbar, unfortunately. The ninth minute, the Pride, there's gonna be a great strike by Watt after a turnover from Weather. I cannot speak right now. I'm just gonna put that out there. Blah 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 blah. After a turnover from Weatherholt, knocked away by Didi, there was a corner kick awarded. Yeah, unfortunately, Danny just got stripped in that moment, and it was a great shot by Watt, but it was a better save by Didi, thankfully.
Yeah, and the next few minutes were spent with like kind of the same attacking pattern from Angel City down the right hand side and Emsley crossing it in. And usually I get frustrated when we do the same thing over and over again, but it was working. Like we weren't connecting in that final touch, but it was looking good. And we were pressuring the ball really high in the attacking third. And I enjoyed seeing this high pressure. Right after that, Nielsen earns a yellow for a foul on Doyle. And I didn't think it was a bad foul. Doyle just kind of like landed wrong,
Yeah.
but
That's
just
kind of what the
unfortunate.
announcers kept saying. Like, I don't think it was a yellow. I think it was unfortunate, and I think it was just the severity of how it looked. And you almost just are like, oh, well, it looked really bad, so clearly it had to have been bad. But I mean, yeah, she was obviously carried off the pitch, which you
Mhm.
never want to see, especially that early in a game. I mean, I know a team never wants to use a sub that early on an injury, but we are going to see Bright come in for her in the 23rd minute. Sorry, I hope she's
Mm.
okay. I actually, you know what? I was gonna go back and do some research while I was doing that to find out if there was any updates, if there was any that came out, but whoops, totally forgot. So sorry, Orlando. I don't know the status of your player, but hopefully she is okay. And this was just a little knock, and it was just a little, just a little banged up, and she'll be back hopefully soon. But
Yeah.
anyways, in the 26th minute, the Pride are going to get off two crosses, but there's no one on the back post. And, Strom, she had a shot, that first one, and it was off the crossbar. So they're coming at it. They're definitely shooting, but thankfully they're not finding the back of the net, and but neither are ours.
Yeah. They kept trying to push that attack, but our defense was doing a pretty solid job of covering. And let's remember, this is like a new four in the back with Sarah Gordon being the new addition this year after recovering from last year. And it was definitely, I felt a little tense when I was watching them cross it. And it was like, we got kind of lucky that there was no one on the back post because to me, that was an open shot.
Sure.
Um, but they seem to be holding solid, which is great. And then in the 40th minute, Alyssa Thompson receives the ball from McCaskill and she gets taken down in the box by Madrill, who earns a yellow card for that play. And we have a PK. Whoop, whoop.
Woo!
Love it. Very frustrating that they do have to go to VAR for all of these. But after a few minutes, Emsley is able to step up and she puts that PK away, giving us the lead in the 40th minute. We love that. We like to go into the half with a lead. It feels good.
Yeah, we do. And that's definitely a great way to be. Definitely gives us some good momentum. And yeah, I mean, we're going to continue on because it's not quite the half yet. But we are going to see whether Holt concede a foul in the 43rd. Thankfully, that service in the box is cleared. That is going to lead us to the 45th minute where we are issued 6 minutes of stoppage. And, they had some good runs about the +4 mark. We're going to see a great run down the right side from Adriana, but the ball hits off the post. The rebound shot goes wide. Thankfully, that is going to end the half, and we are up 1-0. Yay!
Love going into the half like this. Halftime stats, we were tied with shots 9-9, but Angel City of those 9-3 were on goal. Possession just about split at 46-54 with the favor going to Angel City. Fouls also favoring Angel City with us taking home 4 to Pride's 2. Claire Emsley obviously with that goal. And then Adriana, the girl to watch for Orlando Pride, had 2 shots of those 9.
Now, question: I could have sworn in the beginning there, Orlando had there. It was a kick that Didi collected, at the goal, but that's not considered a shot on goal. Is there a reason? Can you explain why that is a situation that can occur? Do you know that? Do you understand that?
It's like a very gray area. They do define it, in order to be considered a shot on goal, it can't be like going for the crossbar. It has to
Sure.
be something that, if not otherwise collected, would have gone into the goal. So there are some though that are weird because I feel like the keepers will come out and like clear a cross or something like that, and they'll collect something that could have otherwise potentially been a goal, but it's weird
I
because they're not considered shots on goal. So I'm still not
Okay.
100% familiar
I
with.
was like, "Am I stupid?"
No,
All right.
no, you're not. I think
Okay.
they start to think a little bit more about intentionality. Um,
Probably, yeah.
because intention is actually written into the laws of the game. Like, it's not just a handball. It's intentionally handles the ball. Like, you
Which
have
will
to be
come
trying
in
to play it.
which will come into
So,
play here in the second half when you talk about intentionality, because do have a question about that as well. And I
yeah.
think the announcers also kind of question that. But let's dive into the second half and get through this because there was a lot more action in this one. This was a lot of fun, especially towards the end. But, hey, Angel City is going to come out and right off the bat, 47th minute, Hammond is going to earn a yellow. And about a minute later, we're going to see Pride with some service into the box. But great composure from Riley, our captain. Oh, captain, she's going to clear that out. So thankfully, nothing happens there.
Yeah, in the 51st minute, Bright dribbles straight at goal and she does not stop. She takes on every defender. She earns her first NWSL goal, dribbling past Gordon, past Reed, and putting it past Didi. Timrak earns an assist for this. And what angers me a little is the challenge for the ball on Emsley from Timrak.
Yes. So I have some beef with this. Okay. So prior to her getting that goal and making her run, there was a challenge for that ball on Emsley from Temrak. It was a hard challenge and she went down. Okay, I'm not saying it was a foul, but what I
Mhm.
am saying is they didn't even give this a look. And you look at what happened last week to June Endo, where
Yep.
it was similar, if not even like less, I feel egregious. And they took a look at it and they're like, nope, never mind. But in this situation, didn't even didn't even think about taking a look. She took her out, and like you're telling me, you could tell straight away that that was all ball. That was a goal scoring opportunity created, and you didn't even take a look just to make sure that maybe there's a slight little freaking possibility that maybe it was a foul and that maybe that goal wouldn't be allowed. Like I said, I'm not saying it was because we didn't really see it again. No one looked at it, but you didn't. You didn't look at it. And why did that all happen last week? I mean, everybody will stand on their head to the point that Danny Weatherholt was literally just shielding the ball in that moment. There was no foul at all. Like I'm still angry about it. And I wrote that in my notes. Still mad. I don't mean to bring up old crap because at the end of the day, Angel City won this game because they were able to put last week behind them.
Mhm.
But I'm not trying to win any games right now. And I'm still mad. Just
No,
saying.
I totally I'm there with you. Timrak is an aggressive player,
Mhm.
we can say what we want about her. I like how aggressive she is. I know
Sure.
I think I would
Well,
love her on our team, but I hate her as an opponent.
I mean,
So,
and no disrespect to her at all. It all comes in the form of like consistency.
yeah.
And every like, all right, if you're gonna look at something like that led to a goal scoring opportunity, why aren't you going to take a look at that now if it led directly to a goal scoring opportunity? I mean, I don't know. I'm just like I said, still mad. Mad mad.
I'm there with you, and, Orlando definitely looking a lot more intense than the first half in the second half. In the 55th, Strong actually earns a yellow for a foul on Emsley, and then in the 58th, we saw some of our first or non-injury first subs.
Right.
Hammond and Thompson came out, and Nabet and Simone Charlie went in.
Yeah, we love to see Charlie come in off the bench. She always adds a little bit of energy and flair. And, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. Now, in the 63rd minute, we're going to see Strom and Nabet. They're going to collide while challenging for the ball right there at the top of the arc there in the box. But, I mean, honestly, Nabet just didn't see it coming. She was running, looking at the ball
Mhm.
as Strom was coming towards her, and they both went up. And in those moments, I mean, I guess no foul, just unfortunate contact. And, thankfully both of them got up and walked away. They did like the little concussion protocol with Nabet to make sure she was okay. But, it certainly was a very, very hard collision. And, you hate to see that, but you also, anytime I see stuff like that, I try to think, okay, how could that have been avoided? And sometimes they just can't. I mean, this
Yeah.
is a game. They're looking at the ball. They're going for it. I mean, no one is trying to go into that challenge. I guess a little more timid than the other. Both want it really bad, and you love to see that.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks to see somebody get hurt, like we've said in the past, but good to see them both fighting for it. In the 66th minute, we got some more subs for Angel City. We saw Nielsen and Endo come out, and then Vignola and Cambros came in, and it was very interesting because the TV graphics obviously weren't set up. It just said like number 15 with a blank. I'm like,
Yeah, I saw that. I was
somebody
like,
needs to do their job.
somebody forgot to add her name to their roster. And you hate to see that at this level of sports, to be honest, because I mean, I've worked in a much lower level of things where that stuff can happen, but you do everything you can to avoid it. And you think that
Mhm.
those boxes would have been checked. But I guess not. So yeah, Camberos was a big old blank spot, but we knew who she was, and we were happy to see her out there. This is going to be the first look at her, really out there getting some time on her legs, and she did well. I'll talk about some stuff here in just a minute, but in the 67th minute, Danny, she's going to have a shot just missing a little power. The angle's just a little wide, but it was a great ball from Emsley who got it to Charlie down the right side, who then thrust it into Danny into the box. Unfortunately, she missed, and honestly, it should have been a goal. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that
no
would have been
reason
sweet.
that she should have honestly missed that. Like that was pretty clinical, pretty straight on, no trickery there.
Mhm.
But sometimes momentum gets the best of you and you just mishit it. But definitely should have been a goal. I think that was definitely a scoring opportunity for us that was just unfortunately missed. And I'm glad it didn't come back to bite us.
Yeah, and then in the 69th minute, we saw Pride making a few substitutions there with Timrak actually coming out and Yates getting subbed in. And this is very interesting to me. I was kind of agreeing with what the announcers were saying, where Timrak's a solid player. So it's very interesting to see Seb like seat her. I feel like that's one of those personality things maybe? I don't know. I'm not in the locker room, but I
Yep.
need an insider to tell me.
I love that you say that because there are so many like couch coaches out there in the interwebs who are always like, oh, why didn't they do this? And they should have done that. I'm like, we're not there in practice. We're not there in training, and we don't know these girls and really what the coaches are seeing, and they know their player. It's just like a mom knows
Mhm.
their child when they're about to act up or do something they shouldn't, or how they're feeling in the moment. That's why the coach is there. And I'll never question or give
I will.
suggestions.
I will.
You will, because you've been in that position. You've been
Well,
a
also
coach,
because I like to share my opinions on things that I
right?
can't influence.
I don't have opinions. I've never been a coach, so I'm never going to. I may ask questions like, "Oh, why did they do that?" But I'm never going to be like, "Ah, they should have done this," or "It's really stupid that they did." I don't
I
know if
can't
it's
wait
stupid.
for, like, 50 episodes from now when you're like, "If I was the coach." No.
As I watch and learn more, maybe. But at this moment, I'm gonna let them do their thing. And again, in this situation, why Tim Rack came out, not something that we know, but something the coach knows or saw and decided in that moment to make that call. And
I'll
I
call
don't
her.
know
I'm
how
gonna
much.
ask her.
I don't know how much that affected. Yeah, please call the coach right now. In the 70th minute, McCaskill is going to be looking for Charlie, but it's going upper 90, and it is just tipped over the keeper. Oh,
Ooh,
and then in the
you want it.
74th
You want
minute,
it so bad.
I know. Well, in the 74th minute, we're going to see Emsley with another great pass to Charlie, who unfortunately, Charlie is just too fast. She has got her roller skates on down there, and there's just no one there for her to cross in the box. She tries to get it back, but her momentum is carrying her forward, and it's just not going to happen. But again, these have been some quality passes by Emsley and some service, and it's not going to end there for her.
Yeah, in the 77th minute, announcers actually mentioned that the next Angel City home game is April 14th and tax
It
day.
actually is not. Yeah, they announced that the game was the April 14th. I'm like, no, no, it's not. Like, that was wrong. It's the 15th.
Yeah.
And
We're
I
gonna
even went
have
back
to
and checked my tickets. I went back and checked the website. I went back and checked the graphics. I'm like, and I even rewound it to listen. I'm like, did I hear them right? Yeah, they said the game is the 14th. So if anybody's listening to this who is using the commentary as your guide going forward, you have been misinformed. The next game is not then. I'm not going to go into like that is part of the next segment, but I just needed to point it out because I thought it was hilarious. I'm like, that is wrong. All right, guys, come on, stop making these kind of mistakes. But either way, we'll move on from that. In the 81st minute, Emsley, she's going to line up for a free kick at the top of the penalty circle, but the ball does not drop. Little too much on it. It
Mhm.
goes over the crossbar. And then in the 84th minute, Nina.
Yes, it's a game-changing minute as it will end up being Johnson comes in for an injured Simone Charlie. Whoo,
Yeah,
this is
so that
gonna
was interesting. So that injury all came off the fact that we got that free kick at the top of the box. Now, I watched it a few times. I will say I watched it a few times. It's hard to say. I know she did get Charlie, but it's hard for me to say that she might not have also gotten the ball first. There were a couple angles that were different. I could see how they could call that. Either way, she did get Charlie's leg. It looked like her lower left leg is what was bothering her.
Mhm.
And yeah, they subbed her out. And we got Katie Johnson. And well, I've got a note about that here in just a minute, too. So let's move on past
Yeah,
that.
do you wanna just keep going? Go through it. Get it.
About the fact that without that injury, we don't get Katie Johnson probably, and without Katie Johnson, does this game end the way that it does? So you have to wonder. I mean, I don't know. Like it's crazy how things work out. I hope that Simone is fine, and there's no lingering effects from that injury, and it's just a little knock that they can get her all rehabbed up for the next game. But that injury, definitely could have been the thing that changed the outcome of this game. No spoiler alerts. We're not there yet. Let's talk about the 86th minute.
Alright, in the 86th minute, an open net is
Oh,
missed. Oh, frustration to the max, and this is, like, as we're ticking down the minutes, you're feeling the end of the game coming to you. Fired, open net, miss, but Danny is there and she fires it again, and the defender's arm is down, And this is like as she's going to ground. So let's paint the picture a little bit more.
I know. I wish I would have pulled that clip so I could have showed everybody on YouTube, but yeah, we don't have it. We have other clips, but we don't have that clip.
So
Yeah,
Danny is standing in the box and she gets this like rebound from the open net and the action that's happened, and she fires it, and as the defender is turning, she kind of slips and falls, and her arm is definitely out from her body as she's bracing herself and catching herself on the ground, but it is far out from her body, and they call a handball.
they do. And
So
this is where I talk to you about intentionality,
yes,
because
100%.
that is something. Now, do we talk about where she should have put her hand if she was not intentionally trying to? And also, who thinks that fast?
If I'm falling, I'm just bracing myself. It's one of those things that to me is just unfortunate, but because her hand is out from her body, I feel like in the spirit of the law, that is a handball.
I mean, it's hard for anybody to sit here and say, well, no, she was just bracing herself, or no, she was definitely going for the ball. That was so gray
Yeah.
because you
But
have
if
no
she was
idea.
standing, would it be different? If she was standing and her hand was just out of her body, that's a handball.
Absolutely, because there's no other reason for it to be out. And this situation was all, honestly, I felt like it was momentum because she was turning and falling.
Mhm.
So that arm was naturally going to be in front of her because of momentum. Um, whatever. I don't care because thankfully,
Mhm.
thankfully, thankfully, I'm never going to be happy that we miss or have a PK saved. But I never want to win on a controversy. I never want to
Agree.
win in a way where people are going to be like, well, if that hadn't happened, then it would have been this. Like every
And yet
all
here we are with this episode and with this outcome coming up.
right, exactly. But that one was earned. But in this situation, I never liked that. I mean, that New Jersey, New Gotham, they have to live with that first game of the season always the
New
rest of the
New
season
Jersey, New
knowing
Gotham.
New Gotham, New sorry, New Jersey, New York, whatever. They have like 45 names. Okay, leave
I'm
me alone.
now calling them New Gotham
Call them New
forever.
Gotham.
You've
There's
done
there's
that.
I did that. But either way, they get to live the rest of their season with a little bit of like a smudge on there going, well, we probably shouldn't have had 3 points because that Junendo goal should have been allowed. And to be
Mhm.
honest, they probably would have lost because I think momentum would have carried us through and it would have just, I think it would have been probably 3-1 at the end of the day. But what I'm saying is I don't like having those kinds of conversations.
You
I
wanna
like
win
winning.
fairly.
I want to win, but I
You
don't
want
like
her to win.
people to be able to come back and say, "Yeah, but if that hadn't, then this wouldn't." So, what I'm trying to say is, I don't know if it was necessarily the clearest of penalties. I think it could have gone either way.
It was
Thankfully, they
clear.
did.
It was a
They did
PK.
say it was. They did say it was our penalty. They did award it to us, and we
PK.
put Emsley back at the top of the box. Now, answer me this: do you just keep going with someone like her? Or do you switch it up?
I switch.
All right, all right,
I keep people on their toes because
yeah.
it's exactly what I thought would happen. Like, Emsley steps up, and the last time she went to the right, and she lines up the same way. She gives all the right indicators, and,
Yeah.
it sucks because Emsley's good, so, it's one of those really hard things, but for me personally, I don't know, I switch it up. I put
She's
something
good,
else
but
out
she'd
there.
already faced one earlier in the game. It's not like she faced one, 3 or 4 games back. Like, you go with what's familiar. So maybe put someone else in there that they're not expecting something to happen. So I get that. And that's exactly what the announcers were saying. They were like, I'm surprised that, they didn't throw someone else up there for, because you don't see a team get awarded multiple PKs in a game very
No.
often. So that's why I kind of asked that question because I'm curious, what in a normal situation would you, shake it up? And
I mean,
we did not,
usually
and it was saved, and that's going to send us into 8 minutes of stoppage time.
yes,
Woo! And boy,
and
I think we could have just bottled up these 8 minutes right here and just showed those because they
these
they
you
were
wanna talk
exciting.
about titles for the episode, it'd be like the one with the stoppage.
The one with all the stoppage. I mean,
Yeah,
14 minutes at the end of the day. So I was thinking the one
seriously.
where we win, but
This is better. The one
But
with
this
all the
is fun.
stoppage.
Right, exactly. Because we could probably use that other one for other things down the road.
Otherwise, it would just be the one where we lost, the one where we tied, the one where we won, and it just repeats over and over. And people are like, "What episode should we listen to?" Oh, the one where we won. It's
Exactly,
like,
that's how
well,
I'm
there's
gonna call it.
13 ones where we won.
Yep. Alright, so let's move on to this 8 minutes of stoppage, because there's a lot of fun things happening. In the 93rd minute, we're gonna see McCaskill taken down in the box, clearly a penalty. However, I think it was Katie Johnson who was called offside there in the midfield. The worst angle I've ever seen of calling
Yeah,
an offside. So I can't say for sure, but I'm sure they have better angles that they looked at to make that call,
they
but they
better
just didn't
have.
show them to us. But Katie was offside and no PK was awarded, unfortunately. So we're just gonna
So, are
power
you
all through.
hearing the most annoyed person in the world outside honking?
No,
Oh my gosh, somebody has been outside honking their horn for like the past 10 minutes.
we cannot we cannot hear it, Nina. So please move
I'm
forward.
ready to go down there and tell them to get into some anger management. Like, this is ridiculous.
You know what? Let's get through this pod, and then you can go down there and you can like open up a can on them, okay? And please Instagram live all of this for us.
You're an enabler. You realize that, right? Just now. You
If
just
I was there with you, I would hold you back, but I am not. So
so go
go on.
for it.
Let's go.
You're
Let's
so
go,
much
girls.
trouble.
All right. So in the 94th minute, just after that, we're going to see Clough, who's going to be subbed out for Listro. And then we've got Pride with a really quick counter. It's going to happen down the middle, but thankfully it is stopped. And boy, these last few minutes have been intense on both teams because they're both fighting for this win. I mean, it is 1-1 right now. And both teams in their opening games unfortunately lost. So these
Mhm.
points are very important to them.
And let's remember, this is Pride's home opener for the season. And this takes us to the 98th minute. And Vignola actually takes a shot, but there's not quite enough pace, and the keeper easily collects it. And it's at this moment where I'm like, they're going to clear it. Game done. Like, we're going home
Right.
1-1. Like, fine.
Well,
On the road, I'll take a 1-1. Like, works for me. But the referee said, let's give him a little extra. Give him a little extra sprinkle.
so let me stop you right here. This is where I was going to talk about WrestleMania.
Oh,
It
yes.
was about the 98th minute, and I was watching on my phone. I was checking in. I wasn't watching because I don't have Paramount Plus on my phone, but I was following along with like the live and the tweets and
Mhm.
everything. And it was like 98 minutes with 8 minute stoppage. I'm like, all right, this is probably just gonna be a draw, no big deal. And besides, like my phone is gonna die. So I put my phone away, I put it in my pocket, and well, why don't you just ride us to the end here?
I was gonna say, and then I feel like I just started blowing you up. Oh, you got my notes afterwards, and you were like, "What the hell?" So after these 8 minutes of stoppage time are up, Angel City are able to get two corner kicks, and this is insane. Like, after the first corner kick we missed, I'm like, "Okay, no, now really
That's
you're
it.
gonna stop it." And then they gave us another, and I was like, okay, sure. Like, let's go ahead. Let's spend a
We'll
little
take
more
it.
time down here. Yeah, let's give us another shot. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. The like two PK calls and the like other stuff
Right?
wasn't enough. So thanks for the extra, set pieces in the attacking third.
Do they
Um,
want us to win?
I think they might have a little bit. And luckily they did, because in what ends up being like the final minute of stoppage time, Emsley has this corner kick and she finds Katie Johnson, and it's a goal from the corner kick. Woo!
Holy crap. Oh my gosh. Like
Wow.
I said all pod long, Claire Emsley with the service into the box, into the players has been phenomenal. I mean, that would be her. What would she have? 2 assists on the
Yeah.
night? Yeah, well, she had a goal and
And the
assist, yeah.
assist. Yeah.
I don't know. I have the stats at the end. I'm not there yet, but either way, she has been phenomenal. If any of those balls would have made themselves into the back of the net, she would have had a hand in those goals, and I thought that was incredible. And like
Mhm.
I said, had Simone Charlie not gotten unfortunately injured, and I don't know that they would have brought Katie Johnson in. I don't know.
I don't think
Was
so.
she on Freya's list to bring in at some point? Just later there in the final few minutes, or was it just, oh, okay, we need somebody. You're going to be the person to do this." And thankfully, she was. I mean, not that. Let's say the scenario was exactly the same, and they had Simone Charlie in. Would how are they the same height? I guess I need to know that. Um,
No,
no, is Katie Johnson? She's
she's
taller. She's
taller.
bigger.
Yeah.
So I think the stars just aligned for that one.
Mhm.
I think everything happened the way that it needed for us to come out with the win. I think we'd been given very many opportunities during this game, and that was the very last one. And we finally said, "Okay, we're gonna win it now."
Yeah, and
Yeah.
what happens is, as soon as they have kickoff, the ref calls game, and here's where I say, I know you don't like to win on controversy, but when you have 8 minutes of stoppage time and the goal happens after those 8 minutes,
What do you think? We should have gotten a little more.
I don't know how we were able to keep playing.
I don't know either. But either way, it happened. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the word. I don't know the rules on that. But
It's in the opinion of the referee. The referee is the official timekeeper. The
and that
referee gets to call game. There is no 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 end.
it's crazy. It's all very subjective. A little sketch at times for a lot of things. Refereeing is very subjective. Let's just say that. It's definitely not like judging a math competition where 1 plus 1 is 2. It's a lot
Yeah.
more difficult than that. And on one hand, I definitely respect the fact that it is a very hard thing to do because it is subjective and there are no a lot of things are gray. um
Yes.
but either way, let's not dwell on that. We win the game, two to
Oh.
one first win of the season. We get our 3 points away on the road. And yeah, let's go off the stats because something that I thought was
Mm.
very interesting.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
did
I mean, you won't find it interesting, I don't think. I listened to the game back and I listened to a lot of the commentary, and they just kept saying about, how, Orlando really controlled the game and, their possession. And
Oh.
they even asked McCaskill at the end of the game, like with or even at the half, I forget where it was,
Mhm.
but they said something about, possession and how are you guys going to gain back possession and take control of this game. And they controlled possession the
Yeah.
entire game. That was never a problem. We just need to be more intentional with what we do with the ball in that final third. But let's go over the stats because they weren't bad.
Yeah, I mean,
A
it
lot of
was
that
a
happened in the final minutes of this game. But
absolutely.
let everybody know how this game ended up.
Yeah, so Angel City ended up with 15 shots, 6 of which on target, to Pride's 12 shots, 3 on target. Possession, as you already said, Angel City with 57%. Passes, though, even more for Angel City, 313 for Pride, 405 for Angel City, so about 100 more passes there. And the pass accuracy also reflective of Angel City being on the winning end, 74% to Pride's 68%. Fouls about equal at 11 and 13 apiece. Yellow cards, 3 for Pride, 2 for Angel City. No one had any red cards. Offsides, just about equal, 2 and 4. And corners, 4 and 6. So overall, a
I mean,
very
yeah,
equal game.
yeah, very equal game. I mean, I think that definitely shows that Angel City was definitely attacking more, and they were trying to get those chances. Head to head with Orlando, we are now 1-1-1. Prior to this, we'd only played, I think, 2 matches, and Orlando won one, and we drew once, and now Angel City has won one. So we are 1-1-1. And did you see the statistic where that goal in the 100th minute was the latest goal in NWSL history?
Latest game winning goal
You know
in
what?
NWSL history.
And I have a surprise for everybody that is watching. Because it was such an amazing goal, I feel like it's important that we all relive it together real quick. So, if you're on,
Yay!
if you are listening to us on the podcast, just listen to the commentary and enjoy it. Go back and watch this on the podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, well, you get to see it again. So, let's cue this up and let's go.
And Angel City find that moment for their first win of the season. They can! They've done it! And it's Katie Johnson off the bench. And Angel City surely now have won their first game of the season.
Oh my gosh.
Heartbreak for Anna Morehouse. Heartbreak for
I feel like I've
Orlando
been on the
Pride.
receiving end of that exact scenario
What a
so many
moment
times.
for Katie Johnson in
Yeah,
this
right?
crazy,
Yeah, and not the winning
crazy
side.
game.
How many times did we talk about
Wow.
like,
A
corner
fantastic
kicks? We
ball
need to
into
score
the
from a
box
corner
from Claire.
kick.
Beautiful.
Emsley, fantastic
Oh.
ball. Katie Johnson
Beautiful.
gets across. I think
Oh,
Anna Morehouse
love
is going to ask
watching it. It's
questions of
so
the goalkeeper.
exciting.
I was
Oh,
critical of her last week. I think she's had a more comfortable
So
Oh,
game.
look at
good.
the sadness
So
on their face.
good.
But
Oh,
if
wow.
the
Now I'm just
goalkeeper
getting into the
comes,
negative
like,
side. Like, oh, so sad to be you.
Oh,
Oh.
wow, that was fun. I enjoyed reliving that, and wow, hopefully that's just been something that I've been working on, and if they have been, then it's clearly showing in those moments, and that's just it's exciting for them. I mean, that's definitely what they needed after last week's game and the way that all ended up. So super happy for them. I don't know if you saw this in my notes, but I need to talk
These
about
BS ratings.
who does these.
It looks like it's rated by 159 users.
Who does these ratings? Okay,
This
so
is BS.
I just don't understand.
This is on the Googles?
What?
This is on Google?
It is on the Googles. I can. Do you want me to pull it up? Do you want me to share my screen with everybody so they can see it,
Ugh.
or no?
Ugh. Whatever you want. It's just like, as you talked about, like armchair coaching. I'm just like, who the heck and why? Because this is literally based on like how people are feeling about players. And it's like, I don't understand how you give somebody with, no offense to any player specifically, but 23 minutes, 0 goals, 0 assists, and 0 shots was the second best player of the game.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
don't understand either. I mean, and as I was
That's
looking at that, I was just
no,
like,
that's not how it goes. That's
yeah. I
not
mean,
how it goes.
well, the problem is you've got somebody on this list, Claire Emsley, 1 goal, 1 assist, 4 shots, played all 90 minutes. She's 7th on the list.
Yeah.
Can somebody
Google, way
explain
to
that?
try, but this is not take it back.
Yeah, whatever.
Take it back because this is BS.
I was gonna show that on here, but I just gave up because I'm very frustrated with it. But anyways, I just threw that in the notes because I was looking at player ratings. I'm like, what the heck? How are we gonna give? I mean, no offense to Camberos, but she played 23 minutes, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots, and she was number 2. I don't understand. Okay. Anyways,
Called favoritism. And like
let's
that's
move
cool.
on.
Like you're the people's choice.
Yeah, it's fine. No one cares except me, apparently. But let's move on. We've talked about the game. We talked about some news and notes around the league. Let's talk about what's coming up. What do you have to look forward to? And what I mean are, well, we've got some games to come that are coming up. Thankfully.
Yes.
Although this schedule again this year has got me a little confused. We go 2 weeks without a game,
Oh, in your Fugazi Cup.
and then we play 3 games in 8 days. We couldn't throw a game in this weekend? What's going on? Am I missing something?
No,
What's going
see,
on?
here's the thing. They knew I was tie.
Got it.
I sent them a note. I was like, Nina needs some time.
Okay. All right. Well, either way, tax day at the bank. We've got Racing Louisville coming into town. And
Yeah.
it is, what is it? It is tieback headband giveaway for the first 5,000 fans. So be there early so you can get your free giveaway. April 19th at 7 o'clock versus OL Reign in the Challenge Fugazi Cup.
Fugazi.
We're not even going to talk about that. April 25th is a big one. April 23rd at, did I say 25th?
You did, but you meant 23rd at 5 p.m.
I felt it. April 23rd at 5 p.m. San Diego Wave. Woo! FanFest is starting at 4:30. It is at the bank. It is presented by.
It's ending at 4:30. FanFest starts at
Oh my
1.
gosh.
We need to put you to bed.
I took a nap earlier, all right? So FanFest is 1 to, it's the graphic. It's weird. FanFest 1 to 4:30. I guess the game is probably at 6?
5.
I don't know. Oh, shoot. It says that on there. Almost
Yeah, you
crazy.
said that out loud.
Oh, I'm not editing this, guys. Sorry. I'm sleepy.
Enjoy the chaos.
All right. So that's what's happening in terms of games. We've got some really exciting home games coming up. So definitely come out to the bank and enjoy those with us. Come out to FanFest. Come out to our what am I trying to say? I know.
Tailgate.
Come out to our tent where we have our glittery pink sangria. Oh my goodness. Oh. And as Mario would like for us to remind you all, that will be Chon Classico. Yes.
Yes.
On
Thank
the
you, Mario.
23rd. Thank you so
Keeping
much
us
for
on
that.
track.
I know. I keep forgetting to say the name of that official rivalry.
Yeah.
And then another thing I wanted to highlight, or Nina, if you want, do you want to talk about what else is coming up this weekend on Easter?
Yeah, this is super cool. So, Angel City has actually posted this drag march that's going to be happening in West Hollywood Park this Sunday. And I love that they're getting behind this. We talk all the time about action, inclusivity, and representation. And one of the things that's really, talked about heavily in the world of sports is, trans rights and the right to participate and play sports at any level. And so the fact that they are openly engaging in this dialogue and saying, we support everyone's right to be themselves and to be the best version of themselves, however it is they choose to represent and show up for people. I love that Angel City puts this out there, and, I love this, love this, love this, love this. So if you are free on Sunday, April 9th, West Hollywood Park, I believe it's at 10 a.m. Go on out there, show your pride, show your support, be an ally, stand up for others. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, super exciting. They're going to be at the West Hollywood Park, like she said, at 10. The rally and kickoff performances will begin at 11. And then you guys are going to all line up at 11:45. And the march will start at noon and it'll go till 1 p.m. So if it's something that you have the time to put into and would like to go out and support, totally encourage you all to do that. I'll be honest. I mean, I just found out about this today, so I haven't even thought that far ahead as far as what's going to be happening on Sunday. So
Easter.
obviously, if we're free and we're able to do something, I mean, we always love to come out and support, and we would definitely love to do that. So aside from that, though, is there anything else that you have that you would like to add?
I mean, I've got a quote to end it with. I'm going to actually bring this full circle, not completely off the rails, and
No
take
way.
us back to one of the first things we talked about today. And that was the June Endo article. And I pulled my quote from there for today. So I'm going to leave you with what Endo says. She makes a vow to herself, and she says, I'm going to leave an impression. I will make sure everyone remembers me.
Oh, I love that. We're definitely going to remember her. And I remember one of the broadcasters calling June Endo a broadcaster's dream because of her pink hair, because she's so easy to see. But I think there's so much more to her than just that makes her memorable. And I think we're going to be talking about her in the NWSL for a very long time. So great quote to end with. There's only one thing left to say, Nina.
Bye.
Bye.
And here's our fluff. I wish I could tell if our buys always happen at the same time or not, because it always sounds delayed.
It really does. I know. I never know either, but that's okay. It's all good. We do our best, and I think that's all anyone can ask. And that was good. I don't really have any. I don't know. Do you have any fluff? I would love to think of something funny that happened, but I can't think at all. Period today. But that's okay. Maria, thank you for joining us. It's always fun to see you in the chat and contributing.
And in life.
In life and everything else, yes. Fun game. Anything else that what are we doing?
God, I mean, it's spring break for some people. Like, that's all I got. It's not spring break for me.
I mean, it's been spring break for me since December. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are you ever planning to go back to work?
Yeah, I'm better. I mean, like I can bend it. I just working on strength now with my hand. So
I'm gonna make a video for you, like they did for Sydney
for
LaRue.
Sydney LaRue and my my time recovering. Yeah. Yes. Honestly, my knee is worse than my wrist right now. So.
Ooh. You're just damaged.
I am damaged. I'm broken, guys. It's not good, but
I mean, if you wanted to just hang out with the cats all day, you could have just done that.
I didn't have to bang my knee against the concrete floor.
Yeah, like that was excessive.
I know. That's what I was
Do you think you shattered your kneecap? Is that like a thing?
It can happen, but no. I don't think so. I think I just hit it so hard on the ground that the it just was traumatized, and then it just took on fluid. So it happens. It'll go away. I'm icing it and compressing it right now. So. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. I'll be good for tailgates and everything. I made it through WrestleMania, 2 days of that, going up and down and all around, and I didn't think about it. It is worse now than it was before, but it's okay.
Details.
No big deal, no big deal.
Life choices that we make.
Oh, or lack thereof. I made no choice. I chose violence. I chose violence.
Yeah, you chose to violently hurt your knee over and
Yeah.
over and over and over and over again.
All right. Well, there's only one thing left to do, and I think that's to send this one out. Nina,
Yep, let's put it to bed.
we're gonna go to bed. We'll see you all on the flip.